Welcome back to Reading Sisters. Today we're going to be reading The One and Only Ivan Part 8. I'm Naomi and I'm going to be reading to you. Before we get into the video, I'm asking you to please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell down below. So, let's get started. And make sure to stay tuned for the question of the day. Another Ivan. When morning comes, the parking lot glimmers with dew. I see the billboard on the highway. There I am, the one and only Ivan, bathed in the pink light of dawn. I look so angry, with my furrowed brow and clenched fists. I look the way my father did. The day the men came, I am, I suppose, a peaceful sort. Mostly I watch the world go by and think about naps and bananas and yogurt raisins. But inside me, hidden, is another Ivan. He could tear a grown man's limbs off his body. In the flicker of time, take the snake's tongue to taste the air, he could taste revenge. He is the Ivan on the billboard. I stare at the one and only Ivan, at the faded picture of Stella, and I remember George and Mac on their ladders, adding the picture of Ruby to bring new visitors to the Exit 8 Big Top Mall and Video Arcade. I remember the story Ruby told, the one where the villagers came to her rescue. I hear Stella's kind, wise voice. Humans can surprise you sometimes. I look at my fingers, coated in red paint, the color of blood, and I know how to keep my promise. Days. During the days I wait, during the nights I paint. I worry then when Mac takes Ruby into the ring. He carries the claw stick with him all the time now. He doesn't use it. He doesn't have to. Ruby isn't fighting back anymore. She does whatever Mac asks. Night. I close my eyes. I dip my finger into the paint. When I am done with one piece, I set it aside. Um, sorry, to dry. It's so small, one sheet, and I'm going to need so many. I move on to the next, and the next, and the next. It's a giant puzzle, and I'm making the piece one by one. By morning, my floor is covered with paintings. I hide the paintings under my pool of dirty water before Matt can see them. I don't want them to end up in the gift store selling for $20 a piece, 25 with a frame. These paintings are for Ruby, every one of them. Project. Ivan, Ruby asks one morning when I am trying to nap. Why are you always so sleepy during the day? I've been working on a project at night, I tell her. What's a project? It's a thing, a painting. It's a painting for you, actually, I answer. Ruby looks pleased. Can I see it? Not yet. Ruby spoke with annoyance and roped foot. She takes a breath. Ivan, do I have to do the shows with Mac today? I'm afraid so. I'm sorry, Ruby. Ruby dips her trunk in her water bucket. That's okay, she says. I already knew the answer. Not right. It's night again, and everyone's asleep. I look at the picture I've just made. One of dozens. It's smudged and torn, a muddy blur. I place it beside the others, linking my floor. The colors are wrong. The shapes are off. It looks like nothing. It's not what I'm trying to create. It's not what I meant to be. It's not right, and I don't know why. Across the parking lot, the billboard beckons as it always does. Come to the Exit 8 Big Top Mall and Video Arcade, home of the one and only Ivan, Mighty Silverback. If I could use human words to say what I needed to say, this would all be so easy. Instead, I have my pots of paints and my ragged pages. I sigh. My fingertips glow like jungle flowers. I try again. Going nowhere. I watch Ruby plod around the ring in endless circles. Going nowhere. More visitors have been coming, but not many, Max says. Ruby's not picking up the slack after all. He says he's cutting back on our food. He says he's turning off the heat at night to save money. Ruby looks thinner to me, more wrinkled than Stella ever was. Do you think Ruby's eating enough? I asked Bob. I don't know. I tell you one thing, though. You're sure as heck painting enough. Bob wrinkles his nose. That stench is unbelievable. And I found yellow paint in my tail this morning. Bob isn't happy about my night painting. He says it's unnatural. Now, while I work at my art, Bob sleeps on Not Tag. He claims he prefers her because he doesn't snore. He says her belly doesn't rise and fall and make him seasick. What is this plan of yours, anyway? Bob asks. If you explained it to me, I could help out. He gnaws at his tail. Maybe I could come up with something that doesn't involve, paint. I can't explain it, I tell him. It's an idea in my head, but I can get it right. And anyway, I almost out of supplies. I should have known I wouldn't have enough paint. It's a stupid idea. I doubt that, Bob says. Smelly? Yes. Stupid? Never. Bad guys. Most of the day I doze. Late in the afternoon, Mac approaches. Bob slips under Not Tag. He prefers to keep a low profile around Mac. Mac gazes falls on my pool. A corner of one of my paintings is visible. What's that, big guy? He asks. I calmly eat an orange, ignoring him, but my heart is racing. Mac kicks at my plastic pool. Underneath it are all the paintings. Mac yanks one of the piece of paper. It slips out easily, and he doesn't seem to notice the other paintings. The page is stripped with green, which is what happens with blue paint and yellow paint get together. It's supposed to be a patch of grass. Not bad. Where'd you get the paint from? Anyway, George Kid? He considers. I'll bet I can get 30 for this picture, maybe even 40. Mac turns on TV. It's a western. There's a human with a big hat and a small gun. He has a shiny star pinned to his chest. That means he is the sheriff, and he will be getting rid of all the bad guys. If this sells quick, I'm getting you some more of that paint, buddy, Max says. He walks away with my painting, Ruby's painting. For a moment, I imagine what I would feel like to be the sheriff. Ad. Good news, huh? Bob says. Mac's out of earshot. Looks like you might be getting some more supplies. I don't want to paint for Mac, I say. I'm painting for Ruby. You can do both, Bob says. You're an artist after all. I watched the movie. I tried to come up with a new hiding place for my paintings. Maybe I think I can fold them once they're dry and stuff them into Not Tag. It's a long movie. At the end, the sheriff marries a woman who owns a saloon, which is a watering hole for humans, but not horses. It's been a long time since I've seen a western that was also a romance. I liked that movie, I say to Bob. Too many horses, not enough dogs, he comments, and an ad comes on. I don't understand ads. They're not like westerns, where you know who the bad guy is supposed to be, and they're hardly ever romantic unless the man and the woman are brushing their teeth before they face lick. I watch an ad for underarm deodorant. How do you know who who if they don't smell? I ask Bob. Humans reek, Bob replies. They just don't notice because they have incompetent noses. Another ad comes on. I see children and their parents buying tickets, just like the tickets Max sells. They laugh, enjoy their ice cream cones as they walk down the path. They pause to watch two sleepy-eyed cats, huge and stripped, dozing in long grass. Tigers, I know, because I saw them on a nature show once. Words flash on the screen, accompanied by a drawing of a red giraffe. The giraffe vanishes, and I see a human family staring at another kind of family. Elephants, old and young. They're surrounded by rocks and trees and grass and room to wander. It's a wild cage, a zoo. I see where it begins and where it ends. The wall that says you are this and we are that. And that is how it will always be. It's not a perfect place. Even just a few fleeting seconds on my screen, I can see that. Perfect place would not need walls. But it's the place I need. I gaze at the elephants, and then I look over at Ruby, small and alone. Before the an ends, I try to remember every last detail: rock, trees, tails, trunk. It's the picture I need to paint. Imagining. It's different now when I paint. I'm not painting what I see in front of me, a banana, an apple. I'm painting what I see in my head. Things that don't exist, at least not yet. Not tag. I pull out Nautag's stuffing carefully. I fill her with my paintings, hiding them so Mac won't sell them. She's large, bigger than Bob, but I still have to crumble a few of them. Bob tries to settle on her for a nap. You've killed her, he complains. I had to, I say. I missed your stomach, Bob admits. It's so spacious. When Julia arrives, she notices that I've used up my paints and paper. Wow, Julia shakes her head. You are one serious artist, Ivan. One more thing. My finger painting has sold for $40 with frame. Mac is happy. He brings me a huge pile of paper and big buckets of paint. Get to work, he says. I paint for Mac during the day and Ruby at night. I nap when I can. But my nighttime picture isn't quite right. It's big, that's for sure. When I place all the pieces on the floor of my cage, side by side, the cement is almost completely covered. But something is still missing. Bob says I'm crazy. There's Ruby, he says, pointing with his nose. There's the zoo. There are other elephants. What's wrong with it? I need one more thing, I say. Bob groans. You're being a temperamental artist. What could be missing? I stare at the huge expanse of colors and shapes. I don't know how to explain to Bob that it isn't done yet. I'll just have to wait, I say at last. Something will come to me, and then I'll know my painting is finally ready. The 7 o'clock show. During the last show of the day, Ruby seems tired. When she stumbles, Mac reaches for the claw stick. I tense, waiting for her to strike back. Ruby doesn't even flinch. She just keeps plodding along, and after a while Snickers jumps onto her back. Well, that will be all for the one and only Ivan Part 8. I forgot to mention that we also have Part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, which was also very obvious because this is obviously Part 8. But before you click off this video, I want to tell you the question of the day. The question of the day is, what do you think Ivan's picture is missing? It's not Stella, but it's Ruby and the animals or elephants at the zoo. But what do you think it's missing? Comment down below your answer. I'm really not sure about my answer yet. Maybe it's missing, I don't know, honestly. I'll have to think on this one, but please put your answer in the comments down below. Plus, um, comment down below what other books you would like us to read. And if you like this book, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. It would mean a whole lot to me and my sister. And this was Naomi reading to you the one and only Ivan, Part 8. And thank you for watching our video. Please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Goodbye.